Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Throwdown OCE Open Series, day one of league play. This is Corey Lord, and we have a new addition to the desk. This is Wolfie. Nice suit, man.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Really happy to be on board.
I gotta ask, that is the sexiest looking suit I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
I cannot reveal those secrets.
Oh, really?
Hinger's wardrobe.
Actually, most likely, probably as
Yeah.
well. So, Wolfie, joining us on desk in a very, very important time because we're pretty much halfway through now. We're looking at teams who are cementing themselves in the standings, and for the rest of the day, we've got some pretty good matchups.
Yeah, we do. Look, Simple Physics are definitely up there in one of the teams that has the potential to do well. And, looking at, a lot of the results today, there's been a couple of upsets. Chiefs, obviously not performing as well as we thought that they would. But, a lot of the time as well, we see some very, very close matchups going into overtime, going into, really exciting, great passing plays, and it's really great to see.
Yeah, the rest of the days that I'm excited about, we have Darksided and Jam, a team that we haven't seen yet, as well as Tainted Minds. All three of these being composed of players that have gone internationally. For those who are coming in from overseas watching now, you will see a lot of names you've seen before.
Yeah, that's right, and I think it's about defining yourself in day one, and especially with teams like Darksided and Tainted Minds yet to play. We'll have to see where they finish off in day one, because Chiefs finishing 3-3 is not the strongest score.
Exactly. We haven't seen Tainted Minds, we haven't seen Darksided, and we haven't even seen Jam play. So three teams that should be really, really close to the, the top two spots, we haven't seen at all. And personally, I'm very excited to see it all because, from the results today, it's all up in the air. It's all up to who will be able to perform on the day, and it's very, very important over the next couple of weeks that they do well.
You don't want it to turn into a sad story with Simple Physics, because now going up against Tainted Minds, let's drop some names there as well. CJ from Pale Horse. We have Kami. We have Jules, who was the sub last season. This is a very strong team with international experience and a team that will not be undermined by a team like Simple Physics.
Yeah, and we just saw Simple Physics come off in their game up against WW, who is one of our powerhouses, and we didn't have the performance we expected from them. They got thoroughly beaten.
True. Tom, look, I really want to talk about Lim and how his addition to Simple Physics is kind of a shake-up in the mix-up of the top 18s that we, know and love before, because we have never seen him play.
Yeah, he's a bit of a rookie, and rookies have been a bit of a mixed bag. We have Delusion coming through, completely changing how WW plays, allowing them to now be debatably the best team in the region, beating out Chiefs on the roster. But then from Tainted Minds, the flip side, we are having CJ, the classic that had his little AdMe when he was at RLCS, and a bit of a loved character here from OCE.
But you talk about new players, and I guess you have to put Jules in there as well, because he was always a sub. He was never on the core roster. He has to fill some pretty big shoes.
Indeed, he was put on the back burner just because of school and, making sure that he did well in other areas of his life. And now he has the opportunity to really focus and knuckle down on his Rocket League skills. And in doing so, I mean, with Kami and CJ, it's, in my mind, it's one of the strongest teams in OCE. And hopefully we might even see them at RLCS again.
Well, I mean, with Kami, you're pretty confident that the team comp is already solid. Debatably one of the best players in the region already.
Yeah.
So when they didn't have to change team composition either, we did see Simple Physics as a pickup team that came together in pretty much the last 24 hours leading into the tournament, where Tainted Minds is essentially a roster that they've been playing for nearly a year. They've just pulled their sub and made them a core member, so there's not a lot of mix-up for them there.
I think it's just the old boys versus the new because, as we do know, Simple Physics was only made, about 4 or 5 days before the qualifiers for this. So they're very, very fresh blood when it comes to, knowing where they're rotating, while Tainted Minds are like, bang, I know where you are. Bang, we're going to pass it, we're going to shoot it, we're going to score.
Are you going to believe in fresh blood then? Are you going to believe that something can change in your prediction today, Wolfie?
I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with Tainted Minds for this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to give Tainted a clean 3-0. Are you a 3-0 as well, Wolfie?
I want it to be a 2-1. But again,
doesn't matter what you want, Wolfie. Tell us what you think.
Okay, fine. Look, I'll stick with the 3-0. I think it's going to be a solid clean sweep from Tainted Minds.
I'll join that train as well. I mean, I used to just go for the underdogs or do whatever. And I think I did that with Retirement Home, but this time there is such a big skill gap. I am concerned for Simple Physics here. I am concerned that Tainted Minds will just run away with their first game, and then they go up against Darksided. They're warmed up. It is going to be very, very detrimental to this game. So let's find out. Tainted Minds for me, sitting strong. In all honesty as well, I mean, Kami sets it up. CJ has been streaming like a god. Like, let's be honest, in his solo queue performances, that guy is fast.
Someone likes watching a bit of Twitch TV. You know, he gets into bed and then
Yeah.
he's straight onto it.
Yeah, Twitch.tv/showdown. I mean, like, why? You know that already. That's why you're here. Game number 1. Wolfie will join us at the very end. Tainted Minds, Simple Physics, and let's see how they play. Tainted Minds is their first game of the season, Korea.
Yeah, and they're coming out fast as well. Tainted Minds famous in OCE for their fast pressure plays, and they're just so aggressive, always happy to take the 50-50. Simple Physics is 2/3 of the old Scylla roster, including subs, and they too were a similar play style, but when you're going up against a refined team that plays in a similar way, it's a scary place to be in.
Let's remember Jules is coming into the roster, a bit of fresh meat. Tainted Minds instantly have to make that adaptation. Simple Physics, off of game 1, they have a chance to score a point, and right now the aggression is coming through, but Kami, good center save, will pass it over to Lim, and CJ, you see him in his individual play, he is so darn fast, but can he emulate that in the new Tainted Minds team?
I reckon he's going to be fine. Jules and Kami, Kia, everyone that played on their team, X-Corez as well, they were moderately interchangeable without having a huge drop in performance. So if you had that before your even core roster, when you get added to it, you're going to be a monster.
No one's safe in the top 8. There it is. Lim misses the shot. There was an opening, and it was saved away by Kami. Good old Kami. Tainted Minds live to die another day, or do they? That was such a good opportunity for Simple Physics.
Yeah, Tainted Minds are locked in their half, though, unable to get that huge clear that they need to break through. Simple Physics may actually get the pressure plays they missed out on in the last match.
Great setups coming through from Simple Physics, and this is a very different team that we saw last time. Kami for the double touch, though. I take it back.
Ooh, he styled all over him with that huge clear. That is the punish that comes forward if you don't have enough pressure when you go for it. And I love that he gets to showcase some of that talent on this stage.
Someone just dropped the ball, and it was Kami into Simple Physics' net. First goal wasn't as clean as we thought, but I tell you what, it was beautiful to see. The passing play from Jules, 1, 2, 3, and 4. -1, this is going to be Kami again. The shot on the side post. Simple Physics now going up this right-hand wing. This is going to be their play. Missed by Jules. Lim goes for the bump, but Kami reads it. Very nicely done, and AOEM is left to pick up the remnants of what was such a great play. Simple Physics still trail by 1, and this center pass is so beautiful. We're back into 2018 career, and we get to see Kami again.
Yeah, he's cheating forward after such a great defense with no boost, dodging a player as well. Cheats forward and isn't punished for it. Tainted Minds holding that defense, and they are getting pressured quite severely by Simple Physics.
Jules now on the defense, over to Kami again. Tainted Minds looking to feel the beat of Simple Physics. The dribble from Kami. He rolls over the top of it, looking to swish it to the side. CJ back to Jules, and Jules sets it up beautifully. Demolition mid-air. What does it mean for Tainted Minds? Oh, I guess not too much this time. And Tainted Minds 2:30 remaining. They're not looking as comfortable, but they're setting up some beautiful plays.
Daisu not in the position to get up and get the defense, but a great read there from Kami and the support from CJ.
All 3 members had a hand in that play, and that was just so quick. Tainted Minds doing what they do best, and it looks like 2018 no exception to their playstyle.
Yeah, they have great communication. You can just drop in, watch some of their games, and you see that they talk a lot, and they have fun with it as well, which means when the pressure comes up, they don't stress, they don't yell at each other, they're pretty chill.
Especially CJ just chills out, goes, all right, well, I hit those. And he is hitting them today. Tainted Minds looking good. 2-0, 2 minutes remaining. Kami setting up off this wall, and it's not touched by Lim. It has to be reached by Daisu, but that is not a strong clear, which means Jules is able to hit it back, and AOEM is forced into a position that he does not want to be in. Tainted Minds coming through. It's going to hit the roof, and again, there is no strong clear, which means the passing play coming through once more.
Yeah, Tainted Minds now matching the pace with Simple Physics off the ground, leading them to play the actual fight in the middle before it pushes forward.
Tainted Minds, minute 30. Ball bouncing, not really finding an owner. Daisu missing. AOEM now left to pick it up. It's going to be passed over to CJ, who doesn't really want the ball, but now commits. Gets centered. Crossfield. Jules picking up the boost. Tainted Minds happy to play this one pretty defensively.
Yeah, and without the warm-up as well, they've already got the lead, and we did see what effect that had on Simple Physics, conceding the first 2 games pretty thoroughly and then slowly trying to claw their way back.
Kami now. Dribble the ball up. Over the top. No one in defense. Jules is here. Unable to get it out of this corner. CJ will do a darn good try. 50 seconds remaining. Ball centered across. Really nice hit from Jules. He's dribbling it up. Tries to slice it in. Unfortunately, tennis does not exist. Not in this world. 40 seconds remaining. Out of the corner once again. Tainted Minds. Looking for their third goal. Nice angle. Defended well by AoE Emp. Simple Physics don't look like they're able to get at least one goal in game one. And as we expected, Tainted Minds come out of the gate rolling. A couple of close tries by Simple Physics, but the end, is it good enough? I take it back.
Yeah, Kami running forward, deciding whether or not he wants to go for that 50-50. Unfortunately, the amount of time passes, allowing the pass to AoE Emp, who can just clean it up past the defense.
Although Simple Physics might not be able to find that other goal, that is definitely a good response against Tainted Minds. It means that there is some hope, there is some light, and Tainted Minds cannot be all as comfortable as you'd think they would be.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they went so deep for it as well. They were a team that, whilst they do play aggressive, know when to rotate a little bit slower, albeit still on the attacky side.
That's right. Although as attacky as they want to be right now, can do whatever the hell they want. Lim positions outward, and Jules going to let this ball hit the ground. Career game number 1 over to Tainted Minds. This series of 3.
For Simple Physics, even though they didn't pull this game hysterics, I think for them, the fact that it was a lot closer brings them a bit of hope.
Yeah.
Tainted Minds, the juggernauts that just came back from the 2017 RLCS run, probably not as profitable as they would have liked, but nonetheless, they have that international experience. And then Simple Physics only losing 1-2 is a good start for game 1.
And you know what? Tainted Minds are not happy with their international performance. They came back and they said, you know, we didn't find a win against any of the EU or NA teams, whereas the Chiefs went over and they took out NRG, and they still put up a pretty good fight. Went to E-League, put up another good fight, and Pale Horse, now Tainted Minds, are sitting there thinking, well, when is it our turn to shine? And this off-season, this is a great chance for them to move into the championship, to give everyone no benefit of the doubt, just cold hard facts that they're good.
It's also a good time for scrimming in OCE, whereas before we only had a few teams you could really practice against to get the experience, where you look over in the international scene, where North America has quite a lot of good teams, and then EU probably some more. It does mean that now they have the opportunity to kind of mingle with a couple other teams. It's not, oh, I need to scrim with somebody, I have to play with Jams. I just need to like maybe go with Conspiracy because you know the other 4 are away.
I guess that's okay, yeah. And people that are tuning in overseas right now will understand that, okay, Tainted Minds are obviously first to the ball in this series and they look like the better team. Well, I mean, that's what the international experience does, because you know how to adapt to many different styles of teams. And over at RLCS, it is so much faster to the ball, it is so much more controlled, and everything feels like it's moving, again, at 3 times the speed of OCE, where some of these teams are struggling with footing, and that just comes from international experience that you can kind of read better where the ball is going, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think for Tainted Minds, their dream would actually be to get back there as soon as possible, take some matches, take some games in a way that is quite meaningful. Chiefs, as you said before, they've beaten 3 teams every time they go overseas. Again, they've got the 7th, the 7th, and the 5th. And I think for Tainted Minds, that's their dream. To put on a showcase that they think more reflects their ability. I know talking to the guys beforehand, they were expecting to at least take 1 win under their belt, make that top 8, and they were going to be happy with that. So unfortunately for them, wasn't like that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is coming back to sort of the series at hand. For Simple Physics, I want to focus on how important it is to have 1 game win in here. In a series of 3, you have 3 chances. At least take 1 away from Tainted Minds, but you're also giving 1 to yourself so that in future, if there is that 1 separating game, if there's a time when you need that game win, well, you have 1 in your back pocket, and against such a strong team.
Yeah, for those that are just tuning in, we are doing a total games is how you qualify for the finals. It's not based on number of match wins. So the difference between a 2-1 and a 3-0 is huge. So if you could get 2-1s all the way through and maybe scrape 6th spot in the gauntlet, but if you get 3-0'd, you're probably not going to make anything.
That's right. 3-0 is a very dangerous score. And for those of you who've just joined us, we were waiting for CJ, who I believe now has gotten back into the game. Probably tried streaming and playing at the same time, which I believe is not allowed in the rules. So it probably didn't happen, but game 2 now, Tainted Minds. And with the spunk of Tainted Minds right now from game number 1, let's see if they can do it all again.
Yeah, Simple Physics starting off strong with the aggression, and Tainted Minds having none of it, though, and turn it right back around.
Ball gets passed around, back into Tainted Minds' court. Kami follows it through. Jules on the side wall here. actually stealing the boost away from Lim, so he's not going to be able to do too much with the passing play. Great save from CJ. Dynamites continue to survive, but it's not done yet. Daisu misses the second touch, and Lim there to recover. Again, off the corner, and it seems like there's a bit of communication issues there, Korea. Two members committing for the ball, and it's just not clean stuff out of Simple Physics.
Yeah, AOEM thankfully got the boost, which was hindering him from moving the midfield, crumbling by indecision. But it may be too late as Tainted Minds start trying to build the pressure and trying to get those shots.
Still setting up some really nice passes here, and so is Kami. Ball centered again. Daisu with a soft clear over to AOEM. Looking to dribble the ball. Reed, done well by Jules. CJ trying to interpret the ball, but over we go. CJ pops it up. This is beautiful stuff to watch. Jules with the angle as well. Crossbar, Kami to finish off. CJ hits it. It almost goes in. Tainted Minds, although no goal, look darn well setting it up.
Oh, the ball half shadowed as it was running through. Simple Physics need to get it out of their half if they want any opportunity this game, but with the two-man offense and Lim forced to retreat, it looks like Tainted Minds are going to take control.
Kami over the top reads better than Lim. CJ and Jules, who's getting back into defense. Maybe a little bit of a communication issue there from Tainted Minds, so no one's perfect. As Mum always said to me. Daisu reaches up for the ball. 3 minutes left remaining, and it feels like Tainted Minds might not have full control over this game, and Simple Physics again doing what they did in game number 1, which was actually start pushing against. And then CJ says no. It's actually me coming through.
Yeah, we are seeing Simple Physics starting to get a lot more possession and building the pressure, but complete mistime. Oh, the shot from CJ off the backboard, taking the lead when given the opportunity.
What a setup from Tainted Minds. 1-0. An explosive start, but really the positioning of Tainted Minds cannot be questioned.
Yeah, in Simple Physics, all three players on the floor, none able to get up to that backboard for defense, did allow CJ to take advantage of it, and he saw it from across the pitch and knew it was a safe play.
What Simple Physics do, this is like a really, really big series for them. They do not want to fall behind 0-6. Need at least 1 point here to make sure like they do not fall. It's so early to tell, but it could be the difference between them falling 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 5th and 6th. Right now, we just don't know, but we do not want to lose games this early.
Yeah, especially when the teams and competition is so tight.
2 minutes 15. Jules dropping the ball there. Nice touch. Daisu with the save. They're not done just yet. Kami around the corner. Great angle. And Jules to secure.
What a nudge as well. Picking it at the final second, unable to be stopped. Kami with the crazy setups. That man loves the corners.
What beautiful timing from Tainted Minds. I think we're seeing a nice rendition of the 2017 Pale Horse mixed in with a bit of Jules for extra spice. And sometimes, you know, people put chili in their mouth and they say it's too hot, but this feels right, Korea, as Kami dribbles the ball down and almost sets it up for CJ.
Yep, we are seeing the defense come through. They do have that backboard defense. AOEM trying to set it up, but Daisu in time for the save, coming from that rear post, allows him to feel a little bit more comfortable.
AOEM trying to read the ball better, does not, and Lim was there for the center. And I think Tainted Minds making me squeal again. This happened last year. It's happening again. You do not expect these setups from Kami and now from Jules. So much excitement in Tainted Minds roster. We love watching them, and this is part of the reason why.
I don't think that's fair to Kami. Dude, that guy is a freak, as is CJ. I expect to see the best coming out of them. And now if they don't get it out of this half, I'd be surprised.
Oh, no, Korea just popping them up even more. Actually, a bigger compliment coming through, but a minute 15, the shot's there. Almost finished, it is, by Daisu.
Peppering the goal from either side. Eventually you're going to have to crumble. It is very hard to reverse your car in the air, and that was Daisu's goal to take.
That's right, Simple Physics finally getting one on the board. Minute 15 to do it again. Tainted Minds otherwise will look for that game to snatch it away, and with that could just take the series. Simple Physics need to do one thing, and that is beat out Tainted Minds.
Yeah, it's very similar to the last game where we saw the
dear.
small goal. Oh, Jules taking the freebie.
Oh dear. Well, that was fun. Like, great setup from CJ, and boop. Not even a touch. Like, it was like the most minute of a touch. Perfect.
He just gave it a gentle kiss.
Yeah, nudge it away. Well, 1 and 3. Tainted Minds scoring an unexpected goal means that Simple Physics are further out of winning this second game. Getting quite worrisome for the squad here as the save comes through from Jules. AOEM going to clear it back down. Off the backboard, is it going to be touched? And actually hits the corner.
Game starting to slow down a bit more in the midfield as both taking their measure. OEM has to try and make an opportunity of this as the time is running so fast down.
35 seconds remaining. Nice touch. It's not saved. It's finished by Lim.
Tainted Minds didn't have the opportunity to get out locked within the goalpost, which is a place you never want to be. Always want to have that rear post for the save.
Well, Lim just did what he did best, but unfortunately it's still a goal difference and Simple Physics starting to get on the board. Tainted Minds still looking pretty good here. CJ now meets with Lim and loses that 50-50. Over to Daisu. Corner. Daisu there. Almost pinches it into that net. Would have been the equalizer, but unfortunately not. CJ now passing upfield and doesn't get the second touch, and he leaves it for Jules. Daisu doesn't save it. Number 4.
Yeah, good read there by Tainted Minds. I love that he left a shot for Jules, allowing him to be ready for the potential follow-up if he was unable to get the shot.
Just think about Tainted Minds right now. They're warming up for Darksided, not looking too much at Simple Physics, and you can see why. 15 seconds remaining and looking to take out game 2. Not as cleanly as number 1, but definitely still in control of this series.
Yeah, Simple Physics' performance has been increasing, I'd say, over the last couple of games. The first against WW were pretty one-sided. They're putting up a bit of a fight, but they are definitely trailing.
CJ just brings the ball back. He knows his game 2 is over, and so do we as the ball hits the ground. Tainted Minds number 2 and looking for a perfect 3-0.
Great way to start, going straight on, no warm-up required, getting two right out of the series.
I mean, a better start than the Chiefs, but you got to say that the Chiefs versus Love Decks and they versus Retirement Home, whereas Simple Physics are arguably maybe not the strongest team coming through. They could be one of the weakest, in fact, and right now they need to cement themselves in league play. Day number 1 not looking too great for them, and Tainted Minds are 1 game away from having a perfect game.
That's kind of what you want, right? You are coming from that international scene. You want to be showcasing that the team that is coming in, 8th seed, final players to come through this tournament, you want to be beating them pretty handedly if you want to go all the way overseas.
That's exactly right. I think I like that we're seeing the old, like we're still seeing the same style from CJ, from Kami. Jules, who was a sub, is fitting in nicely, just like he did when he subbed in for Pale Horse.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And Simple and Tainted Minds with similar-ish playstyles. They both like to play a little bit fast, a little bit aggressive. And we saw some big punishes coming out with the clears as well from Tainted Minds, forcing Simple to pretty much be trailing them a lot of the game.
I guess the control and the experience that the Tainted Minds players have over Simple Physics, where, I mean, Daisu, we saw a lot of them miss saves there, unfortunately. AoE a lot of them miss touches, and it's nothing against them, nor is it to criticize them. It's just tightening up some of that play when you go against an experienced roster of Tainted Minds.
I think it's trusting as well. When you consider that Simple Physics were pulled together, again, within like the last
It's a communication,
week.
right? Yeah.
Communication's important.
Definitely
Practice every day.
Tainted Minds, I'm sure they have career 2-0 in the set of 3. Means we play all 3 games, ladies and gents. Out of this corner, Tainted Minds already kicking off strong, and Jules meets head-to-head. Kami hanging back into defense. The ball is hanging around in this midfield. AoE over the top of CJ, beating him out. That's very, very important, but cleared away instantly by Kami. Lim needs to respond and does. Kami still has control of the ball. Leaves it for CJ. The ball goes past. Who's rotating back now as Lim should set it up? There's AoE. The shot misses. And unfortunately, Simple Physics will not find goal 1.
Perfect example of Tainted Minds, slightly faster off the mark. Simple Physics was ready for it, but unfortunately Tainted Minds was slightly ahead, getting that defensive touch.
Great pass, not followed through by Tainted Minds. 4 minutes 10. Kami hanging around on this left wing. Will eventually find the ball, and that's a great center. Jules tries to bounce it in. Watch for CJ here, who ends up beating out Daisu, and they're not getting out of this net. They're looking for the shot, and quite pesty, the old Tainted Minds, but eventually they will lose possession, and control goes back to Simple Physics.
See, but Tainted Minds are actually ready for it. They were sitting there, they pulled their rotations back, allowing them to try get the clear and cheat forward. That's now only because they missed the opportunities presented to them that the opportunity to score comes forward.
The save from Tainted Minds. Jules doing what he does best, and Kami now dribbling the ball off the ceiling with a beautiful pass.
These aerial passes have been amazing from Tainted Minds. Even the goal that we saw come out before too, filthy.
And who does it best, Korea? Answer me this. Who sets up Tainted Minds best?
Kami.
Thank you. Correct for 5 points. It's always Kami, and in the past, I got on his hype train. I said, this new player is just surprising us and doing everything right. And I guess something we haven't really covered is how Kami, this season, he is one of the pros. He's one of the experienced players now, and we can't call him a newbie anymore. We can't call him a new player. He's now a veteran that has to perform.
I definitely think we can talk about that later. He has shown a lot of growth from the Mastermind days. But this is the opportunity for Simple Physics to try get a point on that series scoreboard. And here we're seeing the backboard build, but nothing to come of it.
CJ, great defense. We'll get the clear. Daisu now off of this corner. It's not going to be enough. Actually pops it over the top. Goal solo. And 2 minutes 50 remaining. I'm not sure what's wrong with my speaking voice today. I'm so sorry. Jules over to CJ. Tries to fake it out. AoE Amp on the defense. Right wing now. Lim. Great angle to play. But who will be there helping him? It's Daisu, the dunk.
Lim taking out a player as well, allowing Daisu to get the free shot off the rebound. That's some much better communication. And here we're seeing it. Kami completely destroyed by Lim.
Yeah, bumped out. Very smart play from Simple Physics. I mean, man, they had these moments of greatness, career, and I think that's what excites me the most about seeing them in league plays, that we can see a team that kind of just came together, really excel with the right amount of training.
Yeah, potential for growth coming out of it here. Lim again trying to make some plays happen for his team. I think using bumps and demos, whilst it is high risk and the fact that you can be taken out, is definitely worth considering when playing up.
The ball from AoE Amp, and CJ hits the angle. You have to watch that one again.
All about the great pass plays from Tainted Minds. They can play fast, they can play off the wall. In the end, they get the goals.
That was highly skilled. Completely missed me. CJ with the small touch there, career. Just the smallest of touch. Really, expectations for Tainted Minds have never been higher. I mean, a strong start to the season, but still these awesome plays are coming through. Kami off this corner. And now Tainted Minds looking for another one. Backboard denied. Excuse me, I'm not getting emotional. 2 minutes left remaining. Tainted Minds in a lead. Not the strongest, but still holding the pressure down this side of the field.
Trying to build something of it, but struggling a lot with the return of Simple Physics, who are starting to push them back. And we have seen each consecutive game over the day from Simple Physics has been getting closer. So this is their game to win.
Dicey, nice touch on the defense there. Very much needed. AoE Amp. Little bit of dribble. Almost comes through. 1:30. The ball not going to be saved away. No one in defense. Just swings right past, and CJ ready to drop the ball down. Says, thank you, my lady. 1:15 remaining. Jules over to CJ. Duncan for the second. Sorry, the third.
Yeah, those dunks that are coming out of Tainted Minds have just sealed away the game. With Simple Physics trailing the last 5, I don't think they're going to have an easy time pulling it back in the last minute. But if they do want to have at least 1 point on that final ladder, they're going to have to lift it.
When you get offered the surprise party goal, you should take it, career, because right now, Tainted Minds are cheering. I don't know where I'm going with that. Simple Physics falling behind, and the setup's there again. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think that spells the death knells for Simple Physics. Tainted Minds taking the first big win of the day.
Career, I just want to put something forward, though. Tainted Minds, in games 1 and 2, maybe had some weaknesses showing through, and now they've sort of run away with it. They're going up against Darksided next, and still a little bit concerned. There's the starting kickoff. Almost goes past Jules. Remember, if Simple Physics get another goal, there is definitely hope in this series, but time is a-ticking. Going back to that, career, Darksided, I mean, they'll be looking at this going, saying maybe Tainted Minds aren't in form.
I think they're going to be warming up over the course of the day as well. A lot of these teams haven't had the opportunity. We started pretty early in the morning for them. So for them, Darksided are going to be going into this not warmed up. So they're probably going to be thinking, oh, I'm not sure how this is going to go.
I mean, I guess we've got to remember as well, OCE 6-Mans has been really coming through. Like CJ's been playing a lot, as far as I know. I know Kami has as well. But it's quite interesting to see that. I mean, Tainted Minds, they looked a bit shaky at start, but now it has just been complete. Final goal, maybe, you'd have to say, for Simple Physics.
It's a great goal for the rookie, but unfortunately, it's too little too late, even though it will go in his scorecard.
Well, Simple Physics have a rough road ahead of them. They have to look at how they recover from a 0-6 loss. Yes, it's Tainted Minds. Yes, it is we win when we can, but what roster can they beat? What roster can they get a majority of points against?
It's not a good time to try get those free wins. There isn't a team like Noises and Toxic last season where most teams are expected to come out ahead of them. Simple Physics may end up being that team for the season.
Well, ball eventually hit the ground and Simple Physics, unfortunate run, but Tainted Minds take a clean 3-0. Thank you so much. Tainted Minds, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. If we can look at Tainted Minds replay again, I think we'd say Game 1 was okay, Game 2 was better, Game 3 was the nail in the coffin. And it is just that consistency that Tainted Minds build up towards and continue to show us why they're one of the top teams.
Yeah, they definitely are one of the powerhouses. They've been overseas, they've come back, they're still doing fine. They had a bit of a shaky off-season going into some other competitions, but now that they're here, now they're back at Throwdown, they're doing okay.
Tainted Minds are doing really well, but I have to say I am a little bit disappointed with how Simple Physics are playing. I feel like they could play so much better, but I have to... Look, I'm going to say it. Kami was the catalyst for all those offensive plays. He was in their face. He was up in Simple Physics' game, and he just made it so easy for CJ, CJ, and Jules to come in and just smash out the goals.
Yeah, he's pretty well known for it. Kami was one of the guys that when you build a team and a roster, you're like, how do we slot him in?
It's not that. It's more about how do we slot around him. Because looking at, the past, 3 games that we just watched, it was very interesting to see how Kami was just bang, bang, bang. He was everywhere. He was nowhere at the same time. And it's almost like Batman, I feel.
Well, I guess so. I mean, yeah.
We need to get him in the Batmobile every game.
He doesn't drive it, really. Kami, same story as last year, and I was saying this in game, Wolfie, was that 2017 was like his newbie year. Like, he was a new player who were like, oh, he's a bit of an amateur, and he made a great performance. Now in 2018, it's like we expect him to put that performance out, but just where is his ceiling?
With Rocket League, the skill ceiling is never there. And because Kami obviously is not, new fresh blood anymore, he's a returning veteran, he needs to consistently prove that he is still up there, and he obviously just has.
Yeah.
But it also means that there's a lot riding on his shoulders, because coming into, the rest of the league play for this season, as well as coming into the actual championship series to go to RLCS, the pressure is on for him because he feels, I've been there before, I took my team there, or, my team worked with me to get there, but he really has to prove that he is consistently up the top, and I guess getting to RLCS is probably going to prove that.
I think for them as well, looking at this game, even though they won pretty handily, there were 4-2s, and when you go back and look at, we win when we can today when they played, it was stompy.
Yeah.
And then this was not as stompy. This was a little bit closer, which makes me a little bit worried for Tainted Minds.
It definitely is something to worry about because you look at how they're playing, and yes, they're playing well, but are they playing perfect? No, they're not playing perfect. But do not discount Simple Physics. They are playing really well, and they are, very, very new as a team, so they're not really in the perfect position.
But is it a conflict of playstyles? I mean, it's we win when we can when they go up against maybe Simple Physics. You're like, oh, that was, hands down, much better score. But I guess if it's a similar playstyle, wouldn't that conflict with how the win comes through?
Cutting down to brass tacks, Tainted Minds have better pressure, faster play. I mean, to be honest, I just kind of want to cut through it a little bit. Looking at even those games that we just saw, and also, the previous games, Tainted Minds, a lot better pressure, much faster play, better positioning, and from that, those scores did show it.
Well, that's fair enough. However, if you want to become one of the best or beat the rest, the OCE Championship just opened up last week on throwdownesports.com. You can sign up now for your chance to partake in $25,000 and join teams like the Chiefs and Tainted Minds Darksided. Who's coming up next, gentlemen? And that's an exciting one. Tainted Minds Darksided. 2 top teams. It's cool. Nice suit, Wolfie. I love it. I absolutely love it. We're going to have a short break, and this time it's only 3 minutes because I don't have to go to the bathroom. We'll see you there.